you look past the legal arguments, if you look through them and see the presumptions behind them, what we were seeing in court yesterday was a starkly different idea about how the legislature should operate. And lawmakers or the attorneys for the legislature are basically arguing that the legislators should be able to deliberate in private, debate, gather information, talk among themselves, think about it, and then when they think the time is right, then take their finished work or as finished as it's going to get and make it public. And that would be in the form of introducing a bill, having a press conference, whatever they want to do. So that's kind of you could see the vision of their preferred mode of operation. On the flip side, of course, the open government side, they would say, well, it's the people's house, it's a democratic republic. The people and the press should be able to see how that work is done, who's doing it, who's talking to whom, how the decisions were made. And so those were the two competing visions on how the legislative ought to operate that you could see behind the legal arguments yesterday.
You were there, so what was your sense of the line of questioning from the panel?
I couldn't detect a tilt one way or the other. They did ask good questions. They really did. One of the judges asked asked the question of the state's attorney, hey, if a legislator is having, or let me turn that sentence around, if a constituent of a lawmaker has a sensitive issue that he or she wants to bring to the state legislature, and they're worried about retribution from neighbors or their boss or whatever, shouldn't they have the ability to have that communication be confidential? You know, and I can't remember what the state's attorney said, but I'm sure she said sure. But then there was also a question asked by another one of the judges, and again of the state attorney. He asked, "What's the purpose of legislative privilege?" And her answer was the model that I just described to you. It's there to provide a safe space for lawmakers to be able to work in private, think, deliberate, debate, consult with each other, gather information before they make their public pronouncements on what their finished work is. So that's where you kind of it's almost at that moment I could see the curtain parting and you could see the idea or the vision behind the legal arguments.